Imeall an Ucht. Mór scríbhneoirí na tíre a freagairt de héithir alíonna le Lines of Vision. Lauren Una Malali leis an grúpa De Laurentiis. Agus an ballet Swan Lake camachúirt ullmhór náisiúnta. Lines of Vision an teideal atá hispántas táchtach tarsúil sa ghealairí náisiúnta idir seo agus mí abrán na bliana sa chuin. Thug an galerí cur de bhreis lechiad scríbhneoir saothar scríomh a freagairt de bhór héithir alíonna tá sa bhailiúchan acu. Táid bailithe le chéile a bhfuairm leabhar fíorálinn, ach táim sé dul isteach anois le breanúir an despántas agus le bualadh le trúr des na scríbhneoirí a ghlach páirt in Lines of Vision.
The leering, brutal figures squat in their island habitat. The gypsies caught on camera throw a punch, adjust a dress, and at the wedding in the barn, the peasants grope and tumble, twist and flail. Have you seen this one? The thin-faced relatives squabble over a purse of coins. The sharp-nosed others take it all in. The pipers check each other out. It's a race, the notes on fire. Tá rud a céint có bio briúir a ggó leis, like áras ó a bhéadach na daoine na parsan seo pléasca amach ón beictúir agus beidir doran sa hoba thuirseáis nó ciúnta beor thuirseáis nó tá rud a céint beidir mí champóirde faoi as well, mar go bhfuil muidir mar cin an bhaíor a breanú na tútháinig nó fphobal na túthe mar seo. Agus mar sin chuir sé chuimhnah an tradiisiún telefíse sin, cin an tradiisiún na telefíse réalteachta mar deire. Go nóirt George Bernard Shaw go bhfuair sé an tuileachas a bhfear a bhfuair sé na híal mar bhuachal iste san áid seo agus mar thora ar sin thocra sé an trío chud go gleachtainna óna scríbhneoirí hain a thuairs go na galerí chun Alíonn nua cheana agus rud atá táhaach san atá neán, the Shaw Trust. It's iontach an rud gur spás an feidbliatá an ach ag an am céanna gur spás thar bheith príomháideach parsanta gur áid ina féidir leat éilú ó bhrúna a híal hain nó éilú weit hain agus tú héine a chuna thuiristeach sna picú agus in nánacha agsúla an bhaileachan ionta atá iste an seo.
No sooner do I stand before this small painting than I am overcome by some adult version of that same irresistible urge. I let myself go, I plunge in, I am drawn up into fields of winter, to a high ridge overlooking some unseen valley. These forceful, mysterious men before me, the hot smell of horseflesh, the child's inborn skepticism of authority at work in me as I gravitate towards the equerries, keeping a wary eye on their superior officers.
Tarlú, cá bhfuil míid?
Táid san ostair agus tá an lá rih chohin Linden a raibh beag an bua ag na Francaigh seo bhfuil dar na Francaigh, beag an bua acu ar áram an ostair agus an Bavair. Agus sé an bert cinarráil a bheith i gceannas ar an de coga. Ach tá fucht an hir, fíor fucht nach bhfuil taíing in éidir. Agus bhí amach na bhar le feic an bert seo leis na capíní tearach, ag siúd ag trid an lán íag so. Agus táid ag feitheamh leis a go táid có fáinneach sin táiste go nach méid siad ann ar an lád, chuil gach seans nach méid siad ann ar an lád ar gin. Ach go méid na gineráil thuas an seo a bhd an trid, so an fáine an taidúra is tán. Tá áit an seo says vanishing point atá, right? Agus tá gach rud ag ddridam isteach san deléireacht, tá sé cósta léir an seo. Ach ar nó sin sais maffard an lá amárach, cad a thárla ag nuair a bheith ceoin a tride I guess, céhiúcha go máchas seo.
Agus cinsar teir tugachtí ar hasna go gombeach se bh freigart den íomhá nó gombeach léamh dhéanamh go bhéir?
Íre scríbhnóirí ina deanga hain, freigart ar teanga na péinteachta, right? Just catán, cad a haníon hatán, cad a spragan sé anat. Agus sais freigra is scríomh. Agus bhís hain gur sais litir chuig an mé sonne a bhí ann, you know? Litir chuig an péintear.
Caravaggio is the painter of night, although his is a densely peopled darkness. Even in his daytime pictures, the atmosphere is occluded, nocturnal. He is one of the great colorists, yet his tones are muted, at once muted and vivid. And his favorite, his fundamental, his primordial shade is that opulent, luminous pitch black from which his scenes start out at us as if a light had just been switched on, which in a moment will be just as abruptly extinguished. His pictures are monumental glimpses, and before them we do not know whether we are to be captivated or appalled. There is violence in these pictures, violence, menace, and mephitic laughter, as well as captivating beauty.
John, this is arguably the most well-known piece in the entire collection. How did you feel taking this one on?
Frightening. It is an extraordinary masterpiece. Certainly the greatest piece in the gallery, I think.
What do we know about him as a character?
Oh, he was a very disreputable character. He ended up being murdered. He did at least one murder himself. He was very much one of those Italian Renaissance people. But of course he was a very great painter, one of the greatest. Figure the main soldier here, so much strength, so much force, with that black armour. And yet you look down at his thigh and it has a nice silk ribbon wrapped around it. Caravaggio, I think, would have delighted in making such an emblematic religious moment into an erotic moment, or giving it at least an erotic overtone. He was a wicked man.
What differences do you see between the art world and the literary world? Are they as different as we might imagine?
Oh no, I think all artists are after the same thing, which is perfection. We can't achieve it, but we keep trying.
Did Caravaggio achieve it?
Oh no, nobody achieves perfection. Perfection is not achievable by human beings. Great artists make transcendently great works of art, but they're still not perfect. Thank goodness, because the quest goes on. We know we never get there, but we keep trying.
A bhuaig an grúpa de Laurentos an Choice Music Prize tá gud clú agus cáile scape agus loch leúnacha dul méid a gánaí. Lear úna maláliló le gard faoin eistir ceola tá siúltacha go dtí seo.
Too late, tomorrow's too late to tell you how I feel about you. Too great, the feeling's too great to keep to myself.
Hello, Kieran and Ro.
Hello.
Take me back to a time when it was the morning after Choice Music Prize victory. Were songs already floating around for this record, or was that just kind of moment of reflection and gratitude?
The morning after the choice, our heads were floating around quite a bit. We were on a plane. Because we like. I know this is kind of that thing that people say, but we didn't think we were going to win, and we actually planned that we wouldn't, because we had a flight at 4 in the. No, we had a flight at 6. We had to be in the airport at 4. So yeah, it was pretty. We went on a kind of a US kind of tour, and I think we had 2 days off in Memphis, and we were walking around, and me and Neil we went to Hooters, and we were sitting there because we'd never been, and we were sitting there, and Neil was like, that was amazing that we won the choice. And I was like, this is a surreal place to be sitting, cheering our album in the year, you know.
Try every moment.
must have been maybe take the last kind of 4 years or something, like a creative valve twisted that has let a certain kind of ease maybe or out of the band.
Though there's I think for us there's I think it's very defined change, and we broke up. You know, we were following other people too much, and we were, this is what we should be doing, this is what we should be doing, why isn't this happening? You know, and we were putting pressure on ourselves, and so it just came to a head, and we said we can't do this anymore. We properly broke up, and we weren't going to be a band anymore for a while, and then we said, look, let's just release these. You know, we talked to producer that we were working at the time, and he said, look, this is really good stuff here, let's just release it. And we went, grand, but then let's record it. And then in the process we got back together and realised that we really liked, when the pressure was off us, then we were a much better band, and we got on much better, and everything was good. And then so we sat down and said, look, this is a way forward for us. So we decided that the band would be a creative outlet for us in any way that we wanted to. Everything comes back to that little kind of that crack that happened, that shift.
I kind of feel for us in terms of our songwriting, maybe just that bit of maturity and being more comfortable with ourselves as people. I think when you're there's a certain dynamic to a type of songwriting when you don't know who you are, and that struggle, but sometimes with that as well, it can be, I think you can sort of be reaching, or maybe you're not so comfortable to explore certain areas or certain parts of yourself. And I think that's been a significant shift, that we've got more comfortable just writing about the things that kind of we're most deeply concerned with or passionate about or struggling with. And I think that's where the really sort of unique stuff, because it's very, very much personal to you. I think that's something that I think people really, you know, particularly with a couple of songs like Petterdo on Little Sparks and things, that people really connected with, because it was something that they maybe hadn't heard before. I
think people can see a bit of confidence in it. I think people can see skill and artistry in it, and you know, they know that you mean it and stuff. And then I think if you can make it easy for them to kind of love it, I suppose, then they'll, you know, people will be interested. And like, you know, that's great. That's like the best thing you can actually ask for as a band or as an artist, you know.
And this tour that you've just done, you have a habit of doing things a little bit differently, I guess. Tell me about the approx bajillion venues that you've been playing around Ireland.
Touring in Ireland is always super enjoyable, you know. But one thing has changed is you're playing a gig and you just see people's faces lit from the bottom as they're looking at their phones, you know. This is a really good gig, you know, this kind of thing, you know. And it's, I guess, the thing is that I suppose with us, I don't know, I'm not going to give out to anyone on stage for doing that, like, you know, but that's, for us, is the trick is to get them to completely embrace the gig so that they don't want to look at their phones or whatever, you know. So we do actively try and get people to move during the gig, jump up and, you know, come closer to the gig, put your arms in the air, you know. It's not like an exercise thing, right? But it's, you know, you want people, but you want people to be a part of it, to feel it, you know, with you.
And when's the Vicar Street show?
12th of December, yeah. So, yeah, we can't wait. It has become like we've sort of doing a Christmas gig, whether like we did a show in the Unitarian Church as well last year before Christmas, which was lovely. But it is really nice to kind of, I love touring at this time, I suppose, when it's like cold and, you know, frosty outside, and kind of that like everybody coming in and huddling together, and then like, you know, it's just a great buzz. And it's like, you know, and I suppose dark from 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so people are kind of can go out and have their few drinks and their dinner and everything, make a big night of it, and it just feels kind of really special. So hopefully it'll be another one of those, you know. It should be great. I'm really excited about it.
What's a beautiful world?
Fáilte Harnash. Here sa bblion chábhíle sa de a chur mar aithne ar dúis sa thar Imeall ar rincort óg ballet as ród chun de Imeall dar bhanam Chris Furlong. Is sé dúrchartí an baile ágant le túsa chuirla na chuid Ilúna sa Central School of Ballet, Howla, London. Well, dearig go seoig leis hawl agus tá se le feicáil inis sa léirú anmhreá de chuid Ballet Ireland den mhórthaothar Swan Lake, léirú tá ar camachúirt ullmhór náisiúnta i láthair na huaire. Bhuaila mar le Chris arís le leart leis faoin a chéad léirú profisiúnta an Soithin Éirinn.
The most exciting day that I've had, like in relation to dancing and stuff, was the day that I got the letter from Central School of Ballet saying that I was accepted into the school.
No, it is very hard to let him go, I have to say. Like, he's only just 16. But he's obviously, there is a talent there and they've spotted it, so can't stop him. I'll go over it when I can, but I don't like flying. There's the problem.
Like, it's going to be my life, so this is the first step in doing what I want to do. Like, yeah, gosh, I can't believe it's been like 4 years, well over 4 years since we first spoke. But the day that I left was very emotional. It didn't really hit me until I was there in London that I was going to be starting like this new life of like ballet training and living by myself and that kind of stuff. I do remember the night that my parents left me first, and I did feel like a pang of like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe this is happening. But everybody in my year was 16, 17, so we were all in the same boat. We were all there for each other if we needed someone, like if we were homesick or something. That was like one of the best years ever, like just living with everybody. My mum did come over to see me, yeah. They came over a couple of times for like the end of year show, my graduation show, that kind of thing. So she did, bless her, like get over her fear of flying by herself and come over, and you know, I can't thank her enough for that. In first year, they said to us, like, you know, you're not here for 3 years, you're here for 9 terms. And at the beginning, like on the very first day, you're like, oh no, like 3 years is a long time, like you've got loads of time. And then you get into your routine and you realize, oh my gosh, the time is going so quickly. That was tough. Like, there are days when you come in and your body's stiff, you're really sore. You have to do it, like you have to push through that. And third year was especially tough because you're fighting for that job. It's not easy getting the job, and you know, you have to fight for it and you have to keep going. You're going to get so many no's before you get that one yes. And you know, when you get on stage and you have a good performance, then you realize why you go through the pain, the sore legs, the sore arms, you know, the early mornings, the late evenings, because the satisfaction that you get from a good performance, like, overwipes everything.
Swan Lake is the quintessential love story, full of tragedy, drama. Originally created back in 1877. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous depiction of love and good over evil. It's a spectacular production. It is one that has garnered dancers internationally from all corners of the globe who are fabulously talented, including our own homegrown talent. Chris takes a role in the corps de ballet, so he is one of the young men in the group. I am so conscious of the fact that I myself had a career abroad and never once danced professionally in Ireland, so whenever my family wanted to see me, they had to travel, and obviously that's expensive. So it is terrific to be able to afford young Irish dancers who have the talent and who have the training, etc., to be able to work here at home.
Ballet Ireland was the first ballet that I'd ever seen, and they were actually doing Swan Lake. So it's kind of like a full circle, like I've come a full circle now, and I just love being home. It's nice that I get to see my family a lot. It's nice to dance for my national company. So yeah, I'm loving every minute of it.
Agus lean Swan Lake camachút náisiúnta dín téna lá fithe de bhína nullag. Well big ar an eile nisisiún an grúpa De Laurentiis on a Gernin Ur Night Becomes Light. Shahid Anish, let's show me love.
What does it mean to me to know you are there? To know you are listening, to know you care. I need you to show me love. Won't you show me love? Your heart stops beating, you don't get enough. Show me love. Won't you show me love? I ask for your answer. I ask you to sing. Your voice is a reckoning. It means everything. I need you to show me love. Won't you show me love? Your heart stops beating, you don't get enough. Show me love. Won't you show me love? Not on the streets or in your home. So much brighter when you're not alone. So show me love. Won't you show me love? Show me love. 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 Show me. I need you to show me love. Won't you show me love? Your heart stops beating, you don't get enough. Show me love. Won't you show me love? Out on the streets, in your home, so much brighter when you're not alone. So show me love. Won't you show me love?
Bígan ar deanta ríist an tachtain sechuin ar bhanú tír ar limnachs na néidir seachtadí leis an ring rafador Jerry Andrews agus búlaigh iní cé leis an alíontóir lánig ní bhurachú.